They say I don't live in reality, and dreams I float like a stream. They say I need to grow up, who cares? Life's a wild, crazy thing. Sorry for thinking you can be successful. Magic in the air we breathe. I believe too much in you, girl, more than the things they preach. They say I don't see their ways, never colored inside their lines. But I'm dancing on the edge to my own rhythm, feeling fine. Not everyone is not me, and that's my favorite part. We are wild, untamed, and free, with fire inside our hearts. Whispering tales of dreams on a road less traveled by. Our footsteps light as feathers in the glowing sunset sky. Sorry for thinking you can be successful. Magic in the air we breathe. I believe too much in you, girl, more than the things they preach. I don't see their ways, never colored inside their lines. But I'm dancing on the edge to my own rhythm, fees they preach. They say I don't see their ways, never colored inside their lines. But I'm dancing on the edge to my own rhythm, feelings they preach. Not everyone is not me, and that's my favorite part. We are wild, untamed, and free, with fire inside our hearts. Whispering tales of dreams on a road less traveled by. Our footsteps light as feathers in the glowing sunset sky. Not everyone is not me, and that's my favorite part. We are wild, untamed, and free, with fire inside our hearts. Whispering tales of dreams on a road less traveled by. Our footsteps light as feathers in the glowing sunset sky. Whispering tales of dreams on a road less traveled by. Our footsteps light as feathers in the glowing sunset sky. Not everyone is not me.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How is everyone doing tonight? I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. This is Tech Q&A. Looking forward to having an amazing conversation with you guys tonight. Question though. Did you get your taxes done today? I do not want Uncle Sam coming after you, so I just want to make sure you guys are safe. You guys are safe because they will get their money. All right, I'm just saying, I'm just warning you. Anyhow, let's move on to bigger and better things. Happy birthday to me. Yes. So I am older today, and I'm okay with that. I love growing. I have learned so much in the past 4 decades that I have been on this earth, and it is well worth it. Okay, that's enough for that. All right, so next up, did you guys check out the Frenemies album today? It is. I've been having so much fun listening to it today. It was streaming live on the Tech Music channel, and it is available on all major streaming platforms. So if you haven't done so yet, go check it out. Go give it a listen. So many awesome songs, and it is featuring Magnetar's song King Snitcher. Just saying, if you guys see Magnetar gone for 10 minutes, beware. All right. It also features Rock the Scrubs. Shout out to Roxy in the building. And I named this one personally myself, the People's Champ for my best friend.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Mitch. The People's Champ. Mitch. What's up, Mitch? What's going on, everyone? All right. It's on the album. All those are on the album. You guys got to go check it out. It is an amazing album. It's available on all major streams. You know what? Let me drop the link to the DistroKid so you guys can check it out. But it's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. It's on Amazon Music. It's on YouTube Music. It's on iHeartRadio, Pandora, probably wherever you get your music. It is gonna be there. All right. I'm gonna share this link in the chat so you guys can check it out as well. All right. So. With that being said, let me jump. Magnetar says this is his first album feature. Let me jump into our agenda for tonight, and then we will get into the comments and get into the show. All right. So to get started, I just want to say a big thank you to all of those who have been hanging out with me for however long it's been, whether it's been a couple of minutes or it's been a couple of years. To all the subscribers to the channel, the new ones, the old ones, those who watch from the clouds, those who are active and present every single day. Shout out to every last one of you. I appreciate all of you.
I appreciate you.
And shout out to a big shout out and salute to all of my tech barbarians, my tech prodigy members, my technical explorers, all of the Patreon members. You guys are absolutely amazing. I've been spending so much time with one of my tech barbarians this past few days because we have been working on a huge project for a huge opportunity. Just got submitted earlier today, so we look forward to hearing the results. But nonetheless, the amount of effort that they put in was absolutely stunning. I might make a kind of conversation about it next week, but we shall see. But I'm very proud. I'm very impressed at all of you guys. Keep up the great work. You guys are the best.
We the best.
And a big salute to my tech mercenaries who keep the channel going. You guys are so incredible, keeping the channel alive and strong, making me want to come back here every single day. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
And if you haven't done so already, do me a big favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live and drop new content. As well, techcoachrob.dev if you want exclusive content to help you level up in your tech and career skills, and access to the amazing Team Tech Coach Ralph Discord, where we are putting in the work every single day. techcoachrob.dev. Sign up today. Don't hesitate. I am pushing my people in there like, hey, how's that Python going? Hey, how's that DevOps going? Like, what are our goals for this year? What are we trying to accomplish by December 31st? I am just constantly. Some people say it's annoying. Some people would say it's annoying, but I think that the annoyance is well needed so that I can give you that little kick, that little push. All right. So techcoachrob.dev, check it out today. Next up, our upcoming shows. Tomorrow morning, we are going to be continuing our large language model. We are on week 2, about 7:45ish in the morning, maybe 8 a.m. We're going to continue with that. We're going to be going through Anthropic, Claude. We're going to be going through Gemini, seeing how everything works. And we're just going to continue with the next set of projects for that. All right. So that's going to be large language models tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning. We also have Thursday night. We're going to continue building out. What are we do on Thursday? I think we're going to be finishing up our port scanner, or maybe moving on to the next thing. I don't know. I'll check out Thursday night, but ethical hacking night. And then tomorrow at noon, we're going to be premiering our software explorations, concept and overviews about cloud infrastructure and how it is important to start getting familiar with it, with the increase of data centers, AI, applications being built, startups, all of that good stuff. So you definitely want to check that out, right? Lastly, on Sunday night, we are going to be going live talking about jiu-jitsu on the Half Guard Halfie channel. I see that I posted a couple of shorts and a couple of match videos on there, and it's doing really, really well. So I'm like, you know what? I might have to start investing some more time in that channel. Where am I going to get the time? I have absolutely no idea. However, I have learned that we make time for what's important to us. So that's important to me. So I'm going to find a way to make time for that. All right. All right. Let me see. That is it for our upcoming shows. Let me check the chat and then I will get to our show. All right. So let's see what we got going on over here. First and foremost, early in the building, we have Jacqueline Johnson in the building. Says, oh, see, these people really need to fix this thing because this is getting on my latest nerves, right? Let's go like this. Jacqueline Johnson says, happy born day. Thank you so much, Jackie. Truly, truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we got my guy in the building. I know Javi in real life. His birthday boy. Shout out to you, Javi. Javi. How you doing? Javier, to be specific, but Javi. Shout out to you, Javi. I will see you tomorrow. And we have Magnetar in the building. Says Sith Coach Ralph. What's up, Magnetar? Thank you for the birthday wishes.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
See, Magnetar got two sounds. We have Rock the Scrubs. Roxy in the building says happy birthday, CCR. Thank you so much, Rock the Scrubs, Roxy. We have Laura in the building says happy birthday, Ralph. Thank you so much, Laura. It is a pleasure to see you here. Thank you so much.
We the best.
Let's see. We got my bestie in the building, Mitch.
Did we just become best friends? Yup.
Mitch says, a birthday, it just gets to a point where he is so... All right, Mitch, before we go any further, did you show your mom that you have a song dedicated to you on somebody's album? Did you play it for your mom? Did you show your mom on Spotify or Apple Music? Well, you don't use Apple Music. Amazon Music or iHeartRadio or Pandora or YouTube Music that there is a song dedicated to you on somebody's album. You've made it, Mitch. You have made it. We got my guy, Wave Nerd, in the building. Says happy birthday. Thank you so much, Wave Nerd.
I appreciate you.
Magnus got his taxes done. Let's see. Pizza making Mitch. Mitch says, dang, you old. It sure does, Magnetar. King Snitcher is on the album. You are in it. I'm telling you. Mitch says the spotlight is on him. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's get it.
Let's see. What else we got? Magnus says my first album feature. That's hilarious. Let's see. Spotlight on CZR. Oh my goodness. Let's see. All right. Let's see. It's a ninja. I was born made. All right. It says Mitch got heart. That's what the song says. It does say that. You know, we might even play that song tonight. All right. With that being said, let's get into the show for tonight. So, you know what? Let's start off. We're start off like this, right? So let me put this on the screen real quick. Where are my? Do that. Boom. All right. So we so funny. So let's start off with this. Let's start off with this, right? The past few days has been a marathon and a sprint working with one of my tech barbarians. Like we were doing twice, 2 a days. And it just, I think I'm going to talk about this on Monday, but it's like, if you ever played any sports and as the season gets into crunch time, you start doing like, it's you don't take the Allen Iverson approach about practice. We talking about practice? No. But sometimes you have to start doubling up on your workouts, on your training, on your practice. And so I was like, all right, let's we're gonna meet at 5:30 in the morning. Some days it was 6:30 in the morning, and then we're gonna have to follow up in the afternoon. Sometimes like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. We have to follow up because we were working on a major project. And if you take whatever it is that you're trying to do seriously, you're going to go outside of your comfort zone to do whatever it takes to complete the task. Now, what's going to be the result of this task? We don't know because that's out of our control. But the key was getting it done and putting yourself in the game, right? So I am very, very proud of the amount of work and the amount of effort. And coming from like not knowing much about what was being asked to the amount of knowledge you know now, it is absolutely incredible. And for me, like I have no problem investing that time into someone who is actually dedicated to achieving greatness, which leads me to my second point before we actually get started, right? Yesterday, I released a video about what drives me, and I named it "The Hunger for More." It actually reminds me of Lloyd Banks' album "The Hunger for More" when he was on when Lloyd Banks was rapping and stuff. And I actually did enjoy that album. That is actually one New York album that I actually did enjoy, right? And I was just thinking, like, going into this new year of my life, right? Because I mean, does the year start on January 1st for you, or does the new year start on your birthday, right? So let's say going into this new year of my life, I'm like, you know what? I know I have this hunger for more, but I want to work. I want to grow. I want to be around people who also have that hunger for more, so that when I ask somebody like, oh, what are you working on, and it's either a continuation of whatever they were working on, like they're getting further, or they've completed it and they're like, oh, now I'm moving on to this, now I'm moving on to that, or they're working on things simultaneously. I just want to somebody said the other day, iron sharpens iron, right? I want to be around and connected to people who are pushing each other, who are growing, who are fighting, who are competing with each other. Healthy competition. Because that is how we are going to extract greatness out of one another. I'll give you an example real quick, right? Javi in the chat, right? We train jiu-jitsu together, and seeing his development in jiu-jitsu and seeing like how when he, how much he's getting better every single day that he shows up, that is the hunger for more, because you're always practicing, always learning, things like that. When I take a look at Rod Brown, for instance, right? When he started his channel late last year, and we're editing videos, like, well, I wasn't editing videos, but he was, releasing his videos and stuff like that. And then I was like, you know what? You ever thought about like actually being on camera instead of just having that face to channel? He was a little bit resistant at first and everything like that. And then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give it a try for the new year. And now, going from 300 subs at the beginning, like in January, to in like 3 months, gaining 1,000 subs, creating some great videos, stuff like that, great topics, and I'm like, seeing the continuous growth, like the the CG pipeline, right? The continuous growth, continuous development pipeline. I was like, wow. And that is what I'm looking for, because now when I see Rod Brown working hard, and I'm like, oh, okay, now you see, and Rod Brown, as much as I love him, he is my competition, right? But that is healthy competition, because his energy pushes my energy, and my energy pushes his energy, and we just, and that is a type of connection that I want with people, like where we are always pushing. I've been connected with some people for 5 years, training with them for 5 years, and always like, all right, what's this new thing that we can learn? What's this new strategy? So my message is for me, going into this year of my life, I want to be connected with people who are going to be pushing each other for greatness. I just want greatness. All I want is greatness. The hunger for more. All right. Anyways, I think Rod Brown will be calling in later today, maybe around the 9 o'clock hour. So wherever we're at in our questions, because we're going to spend 2 hours here, wherever we're at in our questions, once he calls in, we will wrap up the questions, and then we'll have a conversation. Because there is a conversation that I want to have with Rod Brown about when we get there. We'll get there. All right. Anyhow, let me get the chat one more time, and then we will get started on our questions. Do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. Check out techcoachralph.dev. Sign up today for exclusive content and to be part of an amazing group, and even get one-on-one coaching with yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph. All right. Let me see. Mantor says that Mitch got heart, but still doesn't shovel. Well, luckily, there is nothing to shovel right now, because I think all the snow is gone. Right? Is it still snowing anywhere? Is it still snowing anywhere? You guys let me know. I have no idea, because guess what? Down here in South Florida, there is no snow. No snow. Let's see. Mitch says everybody calm down. Rock says Mitch doesn't do yard work. What? To be honest, I barely do yard work as well, right? I barely do yard work. Roxy says glossing it up. I do what I can. Let's see. Mitch says the proverbial Rod Brown too. I like Rod Brown. Roxy says to Mitch that you need Jesus, along with many other things. But yes, Mitch says pause. Roxy says it is still snowing in Upper Michigan. What? That is crazy. It is still snowing. It was like 85 degrees out here today. My goodness. Let's see. Magnus says Antarctica. Fair enough. And the Arctic. And Magnus says, I ain't doing yard work either. I am paying people. Look. If you have to do it, I mean, some people find yard work therapeutic. I am not one of those people. I would rather, and I thought about this. I actually did the math on this. I'm like, all right, would I spend, let's say, 2 hours doing yard work when I could be making X amount of dollars during those 2 hours, and pay somebody from the X amount of dollars that I would make in those 2 hours? So for me, it all comes down to a business equation. If it was more cost efficient for me to do it myself, then I would definitely do it myself. But it is all a numbers game for me. Shout out to the time cost calculator. Oh my goodness, we have my guy Junior we got Junior Largy Media. What's going on? I gotta go check out your channel, this channel, because that's not the. Did you rename your existing channel, or is this a separate channel, Junior? Let me know, because if it's different, I'm gonna go check it out, see what you got over there. All right. With that being said, let's get started with the show. We have some great questions tonight, and let's see how much we can get to before we start talking with Rod Brown. All right. So let's get started. We're going to do 2 questions 2 questions, break, 2 questions, break, and go from there, right? So let's get to it.
Another one.
My company is being acquired. What in the world? I've been at companies that have been acquired before, so it's all good, all right? It says, the current company is being acquired by another company I was previously fired from. What will happen? It says, my current company, which I've been at for around 20 years, I cannot even imagine being at a company for 20 years, unless it is really, really incentivized, is about to be acquired by a rather large company that I previously worked for at, that I previously worked at and was fired from. This previous company let me know I would not be eligible for rehire. I'm concerned they will notice when the deal is completed and our HR records are migrated into their system. Has anyone seen this play out before? Is there any benefit to resigning before this maybe happens, so I can state that I was not involuntarily terminated? I'd like not to have any asterisks next to my most recent employment, especially one I've been at for so long. Wow, that is it's a bit of a situation. Let's start our timer on this one, right? Let's start our timer. So, I have been acquired. I've been a company that's been acquired, but not by a company that I was previously fired from. To answer your question, though, I would say, number one, do not do anything drastic and irrational by like resigning from a company that you've been working at for 20 years because 21 years ago you were fired from a different company. A lot of things change unless it is a government company that if it's a public sector, government company, that's a different story. That would be up Magnetar's alley. What do you do if you got? Well, no. I take that back because the government doesn't acquire companies. So I don't know. I don't know about your situation. To be working there 20 years and then just because. So let's say this, right? Let's say you used to work at FedEx 25 years ago. And you got fired from FedEx and they said you cannot be rehired. Then you got a job at UPS and you've been working for UPS for 20 years. And then FedEx acquires UPS. Can FedEx fire you for, because they said that you couldn't be rehired 25 years ago? Possibly. Are they going to? I don't know. I find it a little bit unlikely unless there's a very, very special reason that they terminated you 25 years ago. But I would say don't just quit. I would play it out. And even if there is an asterisk next to your most recent employment, how would they who's going to be seeing this asterisk? Where are they going to see this from? So if if you get if you do get terminated again by the same company, imagine that, being terminated twice by the same company. But let's say you do get terminated. Why do you have to say that you were quote unquote involuntarily terminated? Say, oh, when they got acquired, there wasn't a need for my position, so they laid me off, right? Why do you need to go into that much great detail about why you're no longer at the company that got? I mean, it is so common. It is so common when there is an acquisition that some of the both sides of the company, both companies' workforce gets reduced because a lot of roles become overlapped. So why do you have to go into great detail about why you no longer work there? But you don't resign before anything happens because guess what? You might be there for another 10, 20 years. Whatever mistake you made 20 to 25 years ago does not have to, it doesn't have to define you today, unless you did something very, very egregious, and now that's a whole other story. But until then, you don't just go and quit jobs because guess what? If you haven't noticed, it is not that easy to come across getting a job in today's day and age. So I would say, don't say anything. Go to work. do your job. Apparently, you've been doing it for 20 years, so you must be doing a decent job at it. Continue to do your job and wait until HR calls you. And if they do call you, then you have that conversation. But just because there's an acquisition doesn't mean that it has to be the end of the road, the end of the world for you. Apparently, you like working at this company. You've been there for so long. So I wouldn't worry about it. I would just continue to do a great job and see what happens. You have the experience. You probably don't have the necessary interview skills yet, so you'd have to work on that. But I think that you should always be prepared. Start looking for other jobs. You might find something better at the same time. Start looking for other jobs. See what's out there. Never be complacent, but don't just up and quit a job that you've been at for 20 years because there is an acquisition for something that happened 2 decades ago, right? That's how I see it. I don't think you just go and make any. I think we need to be a little bit more logical. Your question is logical, but your reaction to the situation is not logical. So take a deep breath, continue to do your job, and see how it plays out from there, right? That is my thoughts. That is my recommendation. Hopefully that adds a little level of insight. And let's wrap that question up. And with that being said, we are going to jump right into question number 2 before we go to break. Let's get to it.
Another one.
How do you deal with pushback? Well, I'll tell you that. You know what? I was about to give you a quick answer, but let's read the situation real quick, and then I will give you that. I'm still going to give you the answer that I had in mind. Right? It says, I'm a new Scrum Master. I had my first daily stand-up or Scrum today, and one of the members said, "This isn't going to work. I only report to the product owner." It looked really bad since the rest of the team actually cooperated with the dynamic. How do I deal with him? Should I get the product owner involved? Since the team also reported they didn't have access to a platform, when I asked this member about if he was also experiencing issues, he answered in a sarcastic way, "I've been here for 3 years. I have access." So I think he's kind of mad at me. All right, well, that's a great question. That is a great question. Let's put our timer up. So first and foremost, the way that you deal with pushback is you go live on YouTube, or you make the video that Rod Brown made today. And as soon as he made that video, there was pushback already. I had to jump in his comments and start to troll some people. It was fun. I'll tell you that. It was fun. Anyways, but you just have the way that you deal with pushback is you speak to people who disagree with you. You speak with knuckleheads.
I'm a knucklehead at times.
And you just have to be professional, and you have to be direct, stern. And I would say this. If they say that they only report to the product owner, this is what I'll do. If somebody told me, if I'm trying to do something, I'm trying to help the team be productive, and they said, well, I only report to so-and-so. I'm like, okay, let's go talk to so-and-so right now. I just turn it back on them. Like, you got hired for a job. As a Scrum Master, it's part of your job to run these daily Scrum meetings, to make sure the team has everything they need, that they're not blocked, that they have access to whatever platform, that the metrics are being met and stuff like that. And if you're just trying to do your job and the person's like, well, I only do this, we're like, okay, let's take care of it right now. Do you guys remember Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood? And when they were trying to run up on Lope Dog, and he was like, "Do we have a problem?" Now, I'm not telling you to go get a bunch of missiles and aiming at them and stuff like that, but I'll say, okay, so you only report to the product owner. Let's go talk to the product owner. Let's do it right now. Let's go right now. Talk to the product owner and says, "Hey, if I ask this person a question, because they said they only report to you, which an engineer doesn't report to a product owner. On a Scrum team, everyone is part of the team. So to make their life even better, to train them in the process, I say, okay, cool, great. So we talk to the product owner. We know what it is. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a Scrum training for the entire team so that we can what's the word I'm looking for? Reacclimate ourselves with how Scrum works, how software development works, how this whole thing works, because apparently you missed that training, right? I'm just saying. See, you need to establish those boundaries at a very, very early age, right? Because guess what? If you let them get away with this, they're just going to keep going, right? And now, you see, and this is why they felt that they could be sarcastic with you, because when they said they only report to the product owner, they got away with that. So now they're like, oh, okay, now I can say whatever I want to this person, and they didn't even say with all due respect. So I think he's kind of mad with me. You know what? If he is actually mad with you, guess what?
It doesn't matter what you think.
It doesn't matter if he's mad with you, if you think he's mad with you. Guess what? Because we are not going to the job to become besties. We are going to the job so that we can get work done. I'm going to say this. One of my favorite songs on the Frenemies album is Shut Up and Produce. I'm not telling you to tell this person to shut up and produce, but you should tell them to shut up and produce. Right? I don't care about all of that. What are the results? What are the results? And so my strategy would be, all right, oh, I only report, you know what? I'm so petty that I might just say, like, right in the middle, because the daily Scrum meeting, stand-up meeting is about 15 minutes, right? I might just say, as soon as that comment is made, let's say we are one person into the meeting, whatever. You know what? Meeting is over. Mr. Fresh engineer, let's do this. Let's go and talk to the product owner right now. I'm gonna stop the meeting. We're gonna go talk to the product owner right now to see, hey, how is that dynamic gonna work? And guess what? After that, should you get the product owner involved? You should have got them involved right away. And then they won't even have the audacity to say, I've been here for 3 years. I have access. And he's mad at you. Well, guess what? You can be, you mad, bro? That's all I'm saying. Let's take care of this right there on the spot so it doesn't escalate. It doesn't go. You guys remember Cartman? Respect my authority. All right. So that's all that I got for you. Nip it in the butt. Don't let it go any further. All right. Let's wrap that question up. Let's check the chat to see what we have going on. Let's see. All right. Junior says that nope, it is a new channel. Awesome. I'm going to go check it out. Not sure if you have anything up there yet, but I will definitely subscribe because I am looking forward to it. Let's see. Says, I'm just positioning myself for the greatness to come. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see what else we got. Junior says 20 years is a long time to work somewhere. That's a fact. It says sounds like his days are numbered at the. I don't know. 20 years working at a company and they get acquired just to get fired. I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical that he won't last. Mrs. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Let's see. And Mitch says you ain't trolling nobody, chump. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Y'all want to know what the comment was? Let me know if you want to know what the comment was. If you guys want to know what the comment was and what my response was to the comment, I just let me just say yes in the chat, and I will let you know what the comment was and what my response was. All right. Let me see. Magna says I missed this. Let's see. Someone's name that I don't know how to say says that, do I need a video editor? And I will say, honestly, I do not need a video editor because I have the best video editor already in the world. All right. I have the best video editor that walks the face of the earth. All right. Junior says, definitely need to put his foot down with those words. I'm saying, look, I have learned in the past year or so that it is essential to rule with an iron fist. I'm just saying, if you want success, you have to rule with the iron fist, because you just let people do whatever they want, then they will do whatever they want. Manager says, if he gets an attitude again, snitch on them. I'm telling you, they're gonna run into the wrong king snitcher. I'm telling you, right? You see them gone for about 10 minutes. They're gone for 10 minutes, and it's a wrap. All right, it's gonna be a wrap. Where is my?
Yeah, what a coincidence. I just left the snitching convention. Gold Star member and chairman of this commission. Should have heard the new one.
I'm telling you, but y'all better be careful. Which says it just gets to a point. All right, so this was the comment, right? So Rod Brown, go check out his channel, The Nourishing Word with Rod Brown. He released a video about authority and stuff like that, right? Some pastor talking about authority, and somebody put a comment that says the rich don't pay any taxes. So I responded. Rich people pay more taxes in 1 year than you pay in your entire lifetime. That's what I said to him. I don't know the person, but that was my trolling message. I said, you know what? Funny enough, the amount of tax rich people pay in 1 year equals more than you will ever pay in your entire lifetime. They didn't like that too much. The sad part is it's true. It is true.
Bruh.
Let me see. Snitch convention. Magna says, snitches, we up. And bitch says, we not even in the same tax bracket. So we are doing here. We got my guy, DV Darrow, in the building. What's up, DV Darrow? He says, who in here snitching? The king snitcher is in the building. So you just got be careful. Y'all be careful what y'all say in the chat, all right? Because I'm telling you, see Magnus gone for 10 minutes. It's a wrap. It is a wrap.
They ain't believing us.
All right. Let's get to two. I'm telling you how, everybody. All right. Let's get to two more questions and then we'll keep it moving. All right. So let's go with.
Another one.
Can you work as a QA freelancer? All right. Let's see. So, as a quality assurance engineer / software development engineer and test, I would like to know from you if anyone ever worked as freelancer and where did you find freelance jobs? Can we work on anything else aside from test automation? That's a great question. Let's start our timer. So I will say this. As a QA engineer / software development engineer and test, it is very, very, very hard to work as a freelancer. Why is that? Why is it so hard to work as a freelancer? Because even companies who have full software development teams, even they don't value software testing, quality assurance, and all of that good stuff. So what makes you think that people outside of an actual company would value that, right? Now, I was coaching someone about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, who actually did get a position doing freelance QA. And they had to do automation. They were using Cypress and stuff like that. Well, it didn't last very long. Number two, it was really, really hard to come by, but they did find it on, they found it on Upwork. So it's available, but it is so hard to get it because if it's already hard enough to get a job as a QA engineer, because the ratio of there's less QAs than there are software engineers. So it's already hard to get that job, right? Now you want to try to find it as freelance. So now the competition to get those freelance jobs are 1,000 times harder than to get in the actual company because many people are trying to get those freelance positions, you know? If that makes any sense. I think you can go out there and try to get it. It's going to be hard. Now, what my strategy is, I would say if you're able to get a job working in a company as a quality assurance engineer, I would encourage you to learn the software or the software development, software engineering that of the things that you test, right? So let's say you test web development, building maybe e-commerce, whatever application you test, right? I say learn Node, learn web development, learn CSS, learn HTML, learn all that type of stuff, learn database and stuff like that so that you can actually offer those services to freelance, and then you actually start building your own stuff. So let's say somebody's looking for a website to be built. Why do you only have to be the quote unquote freelance tester as opposed to the person who has the capability to actually build it and to test it? Now that makes you even more valuable because you're going to be providing amazing quality work, but you can actually do the work yourself. You see where I'm heading here? Even with DevOps, it's not a job that you can just really freelance on unless there's some company who's looking for a contract. But even as a contractor, you're not really a quote unquote freelancer. So my idea is that I want to build things that are going to add value. But let's say a small business, they can't afford a big web design firm to build their application for them. So why don't you learn the ability to do that? And now you can start cornering the market for, small businesses, but with exceptional quality, because I think that is a strategy that I employ myself. You see me, I built my own applications, and you can also even build your own applications. So for me, I'm not really looking to do freelance for QA and stuff like that because it's so hard to come by, and the pay to do freelance QA is probably going to be even less than if you were to get a full-time job, if you can find it, right? So number one, you can barely find the freelance roles. Number two, the pay is not going to be that great. Number three, it's not going to be that much valuable to you, right? Also, when you learn how to do these other tasks, it makes your QA skills even better. So that would be my advice. That would be my strategy for you to follow. Don't be so locked into doing QA as a freelance. Learn other things to do freelance and use your QA skills to do an even better job at whatever it is that you learn how to do, right? That's my advice. That is my recommendation. Let's get rid of that one. And let's see. Let's go to our next one real quick. See what we got next. Alrighty then. So this is going to be a good one.
Another one.
I need to survive in IT until I'm about 45 to 50 years of age. right? It says, "Hi, I'm a 30-year-old male working as a web and back-end automation software development engineer and test, having 8 years of experience already as a QA. I am definitely not managerial material. I'm okay to sit down for long hours and learn more coding skills. I want to survive in IT for the next 15 to 20 years. Can you suggest a career learning path which suits preference? Right now, I'm stuck between DevOps or data science learning path. I want to try the developer. I even want to try the developer path. In past, by attending an Angular JavaScript workshop, I built two web page for ideation. But being 30 and married, I'm not sure how much effort I can be able to put on learning developer path along with family time." So, let me start my timer. Well, regardless of the amount of time that you put in to becoming a software developer, the amount of time that you put in for becoming to learn DevOps, the amount of time you put into becoming data science, to learning data science, they are all going to take the equal amount of time. And guess what? Let's say you learn software, you become a software developer, and you're great at it, right? You're great at it. At 30 years old, that is only going to be valuable to you for about 5 to 8 years. And then you're going to have to pick up on something else to add to that skill. So it seems like we have an issue with priorities and work ethic.
Do not come.
Here's a problem, right? They're not going to like me for saying this, but how much family time do you like? Can somebody tell me what is family time? Like, is it you go to work from 9 to 5? Is family time from like 5:30 to midnight every single day? And then on Saturdays and Sundays, it's from 7 a.m. to midnight? Like, is that what family time is? Like, as Mitch would say, I'm confused. And for me, part of family time is working to better myself so I could better them and their circumstances as well. So this whole, like, if you're not going to invest the time to actually grow and get better and actually be able to add value to the world, right? Then you're not gonna make it to 35. You're not gonna make it to 35. Because even if you're doing QA right now, even if you're doing web and backend automation, technologies change, technologies evolve. The work that I am doing today, I would have never imagined doing that type of work 5 years ago, 3 years ago. And I'm learning so much on a daily basis. The amount of DevOps work that I do right now as a QA engineer, it is crazy. The amount of work that I do on AWS, that I do in TeamCity, figuring things out, it's crazy. And then, for instance, this past Sunday, I was supposed to be streaming about DevOps, right? However, I pivoted the show in order to support one of my tech barbarians in the project that they're working on. I'm like, let me see if I can figure this out to give more context. And then we did amazing work. So I'm like, but I still spend time with the family. But there is no way, no how that I'm going to be spending out of the 40, however many hours there are in a week, and I minus 40 hours for work, that all of that other time is just sitting around twiddling my thumbs, staring at the people in this house. No, I have to work. I have to learn. I have to grow. I have to get better. I have to create opportunities for everyone here, inside this house and outside of this house. Always creating opportunities, always looking for greatness. And let's talk about the hunger for more. This person right here, they do not have the hunger for more. And that's okay. And that's okay. Just know that. Just know that. Not having that hunger for more, it will, like, you're worried about the next 15 to 20 years in IT. You should be worried about the next 3 to 5 years in IT, because if you're going to be complacent, if you're just going to go with the flow, if you think that QA is not going to change within, I'm telling you, like, just today, one of the people that I work with, they're like, oh, I want to do this stuff with GitHub Actions. I want to like revamp the way that we do things. So many things are happening. So many things are moving. And we think that we're just going to stay still and complacent. You will get left behind. And guess what? I'm just going to say,
Congratulations, you played yourself.
you guys are digging your own career graves by having this mentality of, oh, I just want to work 40 hours. Oh, I want to learn something, but I don't want to learn something that's too complicated. Well, guess what? Number one, data science, data engineering, data analysis is super complicated. DevOps is super complicated. Software engineering is super complicated. But guess what? You know why a lot of people don't do it? Because it's super complicated. So if you think you're just gonna skate by, like, oh, I have a family. At 30 years old, I have a family. You look, at 30 years old, if you are 30 years old and you have a family, you should still have enough time to spend with your family and then have enough energy to either go to sleep late. I'm not going to say either, to do both. Sleep late, wake up early, before the family wakes up, after the family goes to sleep, to put yourself in a better position to win. All right? Because if you win, then your whole family wins. So if you want to spend from 5:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. spending time with the family, just staring at each other, watching TV, watching Netflix, wasting, let me not say it. Oh, I'll say it. Wasting a bunch of time. Great. Go ahead and do that. But from 10:30 to 12:30, from 5:30 a.m. to 6:30, 7:30 a.m., you need to be dedicating those 4 hours a day working to improve, to build up your skills and grow. You should have so much energy. After 4 years, I have energy. After 40 years, I have energy. So you should have energy as well. All right. I'm just saying. I am just saying.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
All right. Let's wrap that question up. They are not going to like me for that one. They are not going to like me for that one. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see who we got. And Magnet says he is the one who is doing all the snitching up in here.
Ain't believing us.
Junior says, I'm telling everybody. And Magnet says, I only snitch on doofy people though. Mitch says, just don't tell on me. Let's see. Mitch says, I'm confused. I'm confused too. Mitch says, 30 years old should be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. You ever hear like how people say, you're here, but you're not present? Look, if you're gonna have to share time, right? Because if I still have a lot of work to do, I will be happy to go and sit and watch something on TV with you that I don't care about. But if that's going to be the case, I'm still going to have to be working because time is the most valuable thing. All right, time is the most valuable thing. You cannot get it back. So you want to spend time, cool. If it is not something that if we're just hanging out, then I'm going to be working while hanging out. All right. I see you. Cool. Let's, can I continue to work? If you ask me a question, I can answer your question. If you say, hey, look at this scene, I'll look at the scene. But in the meantime, I will work. Sorry, no ifs, ands, buts about it. It is what it is. It is what it is. It says energy because you on that stuff. I be on that kryptonite. I am not on any stuff. All right. Let's see. Junior says, these young folks don't eat good. Most of them are out of shape. Hey, Junior went for the juggler. Junior went for the juggler. All right. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just saying. They got to put in that work. They got to put in that work. All right. Let's continue on with the show. Do me a favor, though. Do me a big favor if you haven't done so already. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live and drop new content. If you need one-on-one coaching, if you need access to exclusive content, if you need a place that will keep you accountable and I will be like, what's going on? Join techcoachrob.dev, join the Team TechCoachRob Discord, and let's work together. Let's work together. It says you on that. I don't take sugar. I don't take sugar. I'm on steak. I'm running on steak. All right. I'm running on steak. Okay. Anyways, let's continue on with the show. Let's get to our next topic. Let's get to our next question.
Another one.
Desperate and disappointed at a new job. All right, that one seems a bit scary. Let's see what it has to say. Let's see what they have to say about this one. Let's see. All right, so I'm pretty desperate and disappointed about my new job. Last Monday, I started a new job. My girlfriend, who works in a different department, recommended me to the company. I don't think I could ever do that. However, just 1 week, after just 1 week, I realized that the tasks assigned to me don't match what was discussed during the job interview. The work is much less challenging than expected. Additionally, I'll have to take business trips to other cities every few weeks, which will take up several days at a time, and that's not really my thing. Even after a personal conversation with the team lead, I was told that this is exactly what my job will entail. So I don't see any long-term prospects, which is pretty disappointing. If I had known this, I probably wouldn't have taken the job. Meanwhile, I've also received an offer from one of my former employers offering me the same salary. My girlfriend is quite upset, saying that I'm not even giving it a try and jumping to conclusions. She's also worried that she'll be seen in a bad light because of her recommendation. Now I have no idea what to do. Well, this is the exact reason that I don't like to give recommendations for jobs. From the girlfriend's point of view, I don't like to give job recommendations because everybody's their own person and they can severely tarnish your look and reputation on the company that you work for. Now, from the other perspective, from the other side of the game, right? If I was this person and I'm getting other job offers from companies that I used to work for and stuff like that, and they're offering me the same salary and stuff like that, that means they want me. That means I'm good. I would say, go for the job. Go for the job. If what was promised to you in the negotiations is not what it's actually at, and they are telling you that and you really don't want to do it, you know that's not your thing, then get the hell out of there. Now that might sever and end your relationship with your girlfriend, but I would say that the mistake was on her end. Bruh. For recommending you in the first place. And I would say as well that I didn't even put the timer. You know what? No timer on this one. I would say as well that she should be upset with the job for misrepresenting what the job actually was. If you were never told that you're going to be having to travel every few weeks and do this and that and all these shenanigans, then that's on the company for misrepresenting them. And for her to get mad at you because you're like, well, I didn't sign up for this, and now they're trying to make me do all this stuff, and you want me to give it a try, which is something I absolutely don't want to do. When I have other offers, then why am I going to, like, why are you just going to do it? Like, same salary, you don't have to travel. That's a win, right? So it might sever the relationship, but guess what? Maybe it's for the better. Maybe it is for the better. I'm just saying, but why are you going to stay at a company who misrepresented when you have a better, if you had no other opportunity, then that's a different story. Suck it up, do the job. But you're in high demand. You're in high demand by other companies. So go where you're wanted. Go, that's my thoughts on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but the relationship, I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but she's just a girlfriend. What do you got to lose? What do you got to lose? So I say, let it go. If she doesn't want to be with you anymore because you don't want to work at the company that she recommended you for after they hired you under false pretenses, then it is what it is.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, but you guys know.
I'm just being honest.
All right, let's wrap that question up. All right, next question.
Another one.
Should I resign from my current position? It says, I just got a great job offer from a new company, but I'm unsure if I should take it. The pros of the new job, going to make $10,000 more than currently making now.
Money.
It's 7 minutes away from my house, plus I get to telework 2 times a week after a period of time, probationary period. And the new boss seems very, very nice. Aww. That's so sweet. That is so sweet. You can tell that just by an interview, right? The cons of the new job, however, my new boss already told me I have several difficult people to work with. What? All right, look. I'm just going to put a disclaimer out here. If you are a boss, a manager, whatever, you should not be expecting that your new hires and telling them that, look, you're going to have several difficult people to work with, because I think that as a boss, if they're on your same team, you need to work that out. If they're on a different team, you need to work it out with the other managers. They're like, why are your employees so difficult to work with? I don't think that it should be a known thing that, oh, you have to work with difficult people. I don't think that people should be difficult to work with. Does it happen? Of course. But I think that it's the job of a boss to stop having difficult employees, right? The other thing, the job starts at 7:30 a.m. and my child care center doesn't open until 8 a.m. My mother said she would help me get my child to daycare on time, but I think that's a lot to ask for somebody to do it 5 days a week. Lastly, I hate starting new jobs, like 1000% in my bones to the core. Hate it. It always creates a huge deal of stress and anxiety in me for months. All right. Let's see. All right. So it says so now here's the current job, right? My current job has an extremely flexible schedule. I can pretty much telework as much as I want. It's not much of, okay. I usually do 2 to 3 days a week. So the new place offers 2 days telework. This place is 2 to 3 days, and make it work for my schedule. I love my coworkers. Aww. I have an absolute awesome team. My immediate supervisor can be a challenge sometimes, but overall, he's not too bad. The cons are it is 45 minutes to an hour away. What the son of a what? from my house in rush hour, and last year my boss told me I had maxed out on the salary and could not advance any further. But the biggest pro is that I am extremely comfortable here after being here for 6.5 years. And for somebody who has a lot of anxiety, that's a healthy work environment, and a healthy work environments are immeasurable. And I love the people here. I really love them. What should I do? I am really, really torn. Well, you guys might not like this answer, but first and foremost, a $10,000 increase is a $10,000 increase. All right, so here's how we're gonna break it down a little things, right? How to deal with anxiety and stress. Start training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then compete in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That is going to make your anxiety and stress levels just drop drastically because you'll get so much anxiety and stress from fighting with people every single day and then going to competition and getting ready for the competition and getting over. Let me start the timer this time, right? And going to the competition, getting all the way ready, making weight, and then having the referee call you on the mat, and then you got to perform, right? That is going to get rid of your entire, well, not your entire, but a lot of your anxiety and stress, because that is way, way, way more stressful than starting at a new company, right? Number two, as far as the difficult to work coworkers, right? That is what your boss is saying, right? Or your new boss is saying. I think though, you also have on your hand building relationships with these new employees, right? With your new coworkers, building a relationship, fostering a good environment. Because a lot of times what I've learned is that people who can be classified as difficult to work with, they might be difficult to work with for other people or with most people. But I'm like, all right, how can I build a relationship so that I can extract greatness out of this person, so that we can work well together? I'm not trying to be your best friend. I'm just trying to get the work done. So that's my focus, right? Now, the other thing, right? On the cons, so all the pros are great. I love 7 minutes away from home, $10,000 more money, telework 2 days a week. Everything seems good, right? Now, the whole thing about this whole 7:30 a.m. start time and child care center doesn't open until 8 a.m. Your mom wanting to help out. Keyword is your mom said she would help out. It is not a guarantee that she is going to help out. Nothing like that, right? It's when possible. My recommendation is when, I would say, put a contract with your mom saying, look, what days are you able to take your child, your grandchild, like my child, your grandchild, to daycare and pay them for it. And the days that they are not able to, find somebody else that's able to take them and pay them for it. You are getting $10,000 more. I don't think it's going to cost $10,000 to drop your kid off to daycare, right? Or you can negotiate that with your new boss. I don't know, but one thing that I have learned, you never ever want to depend on the quote unquote help somebody that says that they would give you. No, I need it in paper on contract, and I'm going to pay so that you're not helping me, you are actually working for me. I would rather have somebody work for me and I pay them for it instead of would help me, right? Let's get it on paper, right? So even if it is your own mother, right? Like I already talked about the anxiety about starting new jobs. I would not stay at this current job because I'm capped on how much I can make. I've met my ceiling. That means I have to go somewhere else. $10,000 is a nice jump, and it shows that the work that you're capable of doing, it shows that your value is $10,000 more than it is now. Simple as that. Your value shows that it's $10,000 more than it is now. I would say have a conversation with the new boss. Explain the situation with your kid. If they can't work around that, find somebody to be able to do it for you. Pay them for it. Pay your bills. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Some daycares even have pickup services, right? That's my thoughts on that. The problem is, and the biggest problem that this person has is they have become way too comfortable, extremely comfortable to use their words, right? That is not a pro. Becoming comfortable, becoming complacent is not a pro. To me, that is a major, major con. We need to continue to push ourselves. We need to continue to grow. You love the people here. Guess what? You love the people here. All right, I can't say that I love the people at other places, but I liked the people at other places that I've worked before in the past, right? You know what? I didn't turn on the dumb me. Let me turn on I forgot to turn on the call-in link. Let me go ahead and turn that on right now. That is my bad. Let's do that. Let me go here. All right, call-in link is on. Call-in link is on. If anybody wants to call in, the link is in the chat as well. It's pinned to the top of the chat as well as in the description. Feel free to call in. But I would say the biggest problem is that we get too complacent. I would say I liked a lot, like everywhere that I worked, I liked a lot of people that I work with. Did that stop me from actually leaving? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to always chase growth. Chase growth, right? And you might get to that other place and it might not be for you. Well, chase growth again. What can you do to go somewhere else? We just can't stay trapped in one spot forever. All right? Especially if they say you have reached your cap. Once you reach your cap, you can't get promoted, you can't make more money. It's time to go. It's time to go. You start looking. It's gonna happen sooner or later. It is gonna happen at some point. At some point, you're gonna have to go. All right. So you might as well take the $10,000, take the 7 minutes away from home. That's music to my ears. I wish. I mean, if I wasn't working remotely, if I had to work in office, I wish it was 7 minutes away from my house. All right. Let's wrap that question up. Let me check the chat since my guy CJ has to run the wealth building journey. What's up, the wealth building journey? Let me just acknowledge your chat real quick. The wealth building journey says, salute tech coach Ralph. Congratulations on another trip around the sun. Thank you so much, CJ. A pleasure to see you here. Thank you for the well wishes. All right, let me get to the rest of the chat. All right, let me see. All right, so Wavener said run. I don't know about that one. I think they're being overly dramatic on that one. Max says, so the telework job that's 7 minutes away is also $10,000 more. Affirmative. It is $10,000 more. So that's why I'm like, you know what? We have to figure it out. I am not just going to say, oh, no, like, can I get somebody to take the kid to daycare? That's the only, to me, that's the only challenge. Getting the kid to daycare. That's the only challenge. And can I hire somebody to take the kid to daycare? Do we need to start up an Uber daycare transportation service? I don't know. I'm just saying. I am just saying. All right. Anyways, Maxer says, very easy choice. I think so. All right. Before we get to our last two questions, we got to play. You know what, Mitch? Are you still for the people? Mitch? I haven't heard you defend your people in such a long time. What is going on? But let's find out. Mitch, are you still for the people?
Mitch stands tall among the crowd, fighting hard and speaking loud. Dreams for them as they decay. Wants to lead, but they just stray. Mitch got heart, Mitch got plans, but they don't see where he stands. He keeps pushing, they keep falling. In his fight, they see nothing. He's the guardian with the shield on this broken battlefield. With each turn, they let him down, but he won't turn back around. Mitch got heart, Mitch got plans, but they don't see where he stands. He keeps pushing, they keep falling. In his fight, they see nothing. Why can't they just open eyes, see the world through Mitch's eyes? But they wander lost and blind, leaving Mitch to stand behind. Mitch got heart, Mitch got plans, but they don't see where he stands. He keeps pushing, they keep falling. In his fight, they see nothing. He's the guardian with the shield on this broken battlefield. With each turn, they let him down, but he won't turn back around. Mitch got heart, Mitch got plans, but they don't see where he stands. He keeps pushing, they keep falling. In his fight, they see nothing.
The People's Champ, y'all. The People's Champ. And Magnetar says that song won't get the ladies on a date. However, it will do if you are driving alone.
Bruh.
It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Let's continue. Which says, Magnetar, that was trash. Roxy says, see the world from Mitch's eyes. Hey, what can you say? What can you say? That's the hope. That is Mitch's hope, to see the world through his eyes, so that I want to. That's you know what. I won't even go there. I will not even go there. All right. Anyways, let's get to our last two questions of the night, and then we can hang out, wrap it up, and we'll see if Rod Brown is able to make it by then. If not, we will just table that conversation for another day. Right. So let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Another one.
Already got reported at the new job. Well, that's not a good way to start the new workplace. All right, let's get to this question. So, where is it? There we go. All right, I'm at a new job. A coworker reported me already. All right, we work with machines at my job. This is my third company in this industry in 2 years. I left the other two companies for lack of work. Sure did. My new job, the owner has his master's tech already. Few guys handle the service calls. I'm with the other guys. They don't have as much experience as me, but I follow them or help the masters. We do mostly maintenance. Easy stuff. A trained monkey could do it. That's a bit offensive. This company is much different than the other two. It's all Russian. They speak Russian all day long. I don't speak Russian. And there is a lot of downtime. There's 2 or 3 of us in a truck. It gets boring. Lots of waiting, lots of traffic. I noticed the non-drivers take naps or close their eyes, so I started doing it too? Well, a few of the guys, or maybe just one, told the boss that I nap, which I understand if that's what the boss wants. No sleeping at all. Cool. But all these guys do it. I didn't say anything to the owner when he talked to me about it. I feel like an outsider. Should I leave? Well, set the timer. Guess what? Life is not fair. Simple as that. Life is not fair. If everybody over there has their own little clique, right? If they have their own gang of people and they look out for one another, then it is what it is. Now, here's a question. Here's my question to you. Hold on. Somebody's calling me while I'm on a call. All right, took care of that. All right, so what I'm saying is, if they have their group and they look out for each other, great. They don't know you. They don't owe you anything. If you tell the boss, well, everybody else is sleeping, they're just gonna deny it. They're like, no, we're not. And now you're really, really gonna be the outsider. So your job is to do your job. And if the boss doesn't want you sleeping, guess what? Life's not fair. You stay awake. You make sure you do a great job. If you want to leave, if you can get another job, easy as that, go for it. But if you need this job, then play the game. Play the game. You're not Russian. They don't know you. They don't care about you, and they don't have to care about you. If you're looking for fairness, go find a carnival. Go ride the Ferris wheel. But if you want to be employed for this particular company, you're going to have to make headways. Like, how do you start to misbehave at a new company because people who have been there for a long time and look out for each other are misbehaving? So now you're like, well, I'm going to misbehave too. Keep your eyes open. Do the job. Have them get to know you. Have them to get comfortable with you instead of just following what they're doing. Right? That's how I see it. Like, I'm not the one to like just follow like the peer pressure of, well, they're all stealing hours, so I'm going to steal hours too. No, like if once you get welcomed into the crew, then they can be more lenient with you. But so I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened in this situation, but if this is the job that you need, then play the game. There's nothing wrong with playing the game. I'm gonna throw in a jiu-jitsu example, right? A lot of times in jiu-jitsu, especially in competitions, people are so obsessed with trying to submit somebody that they will miss out on points that they could win a fight from, and then so they'll lose the fight because they'd rather go for a submission that they couldn't finish instead of getting the points that if they don't finish the submission, at least they have the points to win. For me, I'm always looking at the rules. I'm looking at, okay, how can I use the rules to my benefit? How can I win? What are the factors of winning? Instead of how can I do what's cool? How can I make people say ooh and ah? No. First and foremost, I want to win. After I have already secured the victory, then I will look to do more. So at a new job, I am going to be on my best behavior, and I'm going to make friends and influence people. And then once I get accepted with the other crew members, now we're cool. Now we're quote unquote a work family. You know what I mean? So that's my observation. That's how I would approach this in particular. It sounds like you don't like the job. That's what I'm getting from it. It sounds like you don't like the job. So with you not actually liking the job, then if you get, and being that you're certified, you're a master tech in whatever industry that is, it's not like you can just get another job where the people speak English and you can actually understand what they're talking about and you can fit in better. But if you need the job, then you have to accommodate. You need to acclimate. If you don't need the job, then just quit. Like it's not that hard of a decision to make. But wherever you go, whenever you have a new job, you will always be the outsider. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Whenever you go to a new job, you're the outsider until you're no longer the insider. That's simple as that. That's life. You go to a new gym, you're the outsider. You go to a new school, you're the outsider. You go to a new job, you're the outsider. Whatever it is, you're an outsider. You get like you start dating somebody, and you go to a family function of theirs, you're the outsider. Everywhere you go for the first time, guess what? You are an outsider. Make the best of it and go from there. All right, let's wrap that question up. And let's see. Let me check the chat. We have time. Let me check the chat real quick to see what Magnetar and Mitch have to say. Let's see. Roxy said to Mitch, lend me your eyes. And Maggie says, whoa, somebody got snitched on.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You sure did. Sure you did. That's it. Says, we heard you. So Mitch says, Roxy, I could, but you still wouldn't be able to see what that is pretty profound, Mitch. That was pretty profound. I must say, Mitch, that was pretty deep. That was pretty deep. Shake your bank. And Mitch says, you are not with my clique. Look, you're first and you want to get accepted, you want to do whatever everyone else says. No, you have to prove yourself. Oh, look at that. Rod Brown is calling in right now. We're going to transition to our conversation with Rod Brown. All right. So let me go ahead and answer and let's have that conversation. Rod Brown, what's up? Let me put you on the screen. Let's go with and to see if that's gonna work. There we go. What's good, Rod Brown? How are you doing tonight?
Doing well. How you doing, man?
I am doing spectacular. Let me make sure your sound is up. Say something. Let me make sure your sound is on.
Yo.
Yep, perfect. How's your day today? How has been your 2 premieres this week?
Today's been pretty good. First off, happy birthday. I know
Thank
you're
you
not
so much.
Celebrating type of guy. I said, you know what? What would make Ralph happy for his birthday? Not only but 1, but 2 premieres back to back. Oh man,
It's true.
That's
He's
the
right.
perfect birthday present you could ever do.
Yeah, I was excited. I was like, what? We're premiering this week? We are premiering this week. So what do you think about premiering? How do you like it?
So far, it's good. I do enjoy. First off, salute everybody for joining the premieres and coming to check out these videos this week. There were some pretty interesting topics, and I think it's pretty interesting to just kind of interact with the chat a little bit while we watch the videos, because I probably watch the video because I'm editing it and I'm going over it just to make sure that it's fine to a T. So to actually sit back and watch it again and see how everybody reacts to those videos in real time has been kind of interesting. So it's given me a little bit of a safe haven to say, like, hey, I might think about live streaming, but I don't think I will, because I don't want to give you the benefit of the doubt. So I don't want to give you the benefit of the doubt and say I told you so. But we're gonna keep it right here, and I'm gonna continue just to deliver good content that everybody enjoys, and we can go from there.
Rod Brown, I would never, ever say I told you so. Do you want to know why I would never say that? Because I can just do this.
Now they see that I was right, I stood my ground in every fight. Told them once and told them twice. Guess it took the burn to open eyes. They advocated for the wrong side.
See, I can just play the song "Told You So" if I wanted to. But no, that's awesome. That's awesome. Great job. Nah, for real, great job. And you're almost at almost fully monetized as well.
Yes, almost fully monetized. I'm probably like, in YouTube terms, 200 watch hours off. So that's probably a week's worth of time. A week's worth of videos. So I'm good to go. I'm already fully set up. So
I think your video today might get you there.
yeah, it was a pretty interesting conversation. And appreciate, shout out to you and shout out to everybody who was there in the premiere to take a look at the video. And if you haven't, take a look at it. I'm trying to see how my reaction videos would go, but it was something that I saw people chatting about on social media, saw people chatting about it on YouTube, and I figured that it was something to kind of, get people to talk about, because a lot of people don't want to talk about submission to authority and submission to law enforcement and stuff like that, because of how everything is kind of socially charged within our community per se. So
I don't know, I think people just don't like the word submission in general. So
yeah, I know one person that does not like the word submission, and his name starts with an M and it ends with itch. So there you go.
I wonder who you're talking about. anyways, everything else good with you? Family good? All that?
Yeah, everything's been good so far. Feeling like I've been found a pretty good balance. I'd actually have to say that this week I was struggling for a bit on well, let's just say last week, just a little bit. I was struggling a bit on Thursday because the position that I was going for director, I found out that I didn't get the opportunity, and I don't know, it left a sour taste in my mouth, and I normally don't feel like that, especially trying to elevate to another level within my professional career. But that one kind of left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, because it was one of those things where it's just like, you could feel it, like that this was for you, or it should have been for you. And when that door gets closed in front of your face, especially trying to elevate within the tech community, I had a little moment, but then I had to kind of realize that, hey, that position just wasn't for me, and I'll pretty much I'll make it to the next level, no doubt. So I had a little moment, but I had a good weekend to get my mind off of it. And hey, at the end of the day, I gotta get back to work. Gotta get right back to it. So
you didn't cry in the car, did you?
Heck no. I actually, what I did was I went to the gym and I maxed out on bench. That's what I did.
What?
All right, I'm good.
There you go. That's how you handle it. That's it. I mean, look. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know. I mean, maybe you do, but you don't know like why or what the reasoning is behind stuff, and you don't know what's to come anyway. So
that's but honestly, that's a good question that I wanted to bring up with you. So my question to you would be, if you were elevating in your current position, let's say for instance where you are right now, and I know you might not want to do management, and you might not want to go up to the next level, but let's just say that a position was open for you and you went for it and you didn't get it. Would the next step be asking your director, asking the people that you interviewed with, having a one-on-one with them, or maybe having a 15-minute stand-up with them, just to say, hey, could I get some pointers on maybe what I did wrong? Did I answer some questions wrong? Just to kind of give some pointers in order for you to gain knowledge per se. Is that kind of a necessary step in order for you to understand, in order for you to change for the next time? You're not trying to say that it would work within that same company, but in order for you to change it for maybe another opportunity outside of the company.
Yes, but I would probably word it just a little differently, because I think I mentioned this last week about the reason, or at some point, like the reason that companies don't, or I wouldn't want to give feedback to a external hire or that didn't get hired, because something like, oh, they didn't give, like, can I get some feedback on what I did wrong and stuff like that.
Oh, I know who was hired.
No, not about who was hired, but like if let's say you're looking for a job, right? And you went through the whole interview process and they didn't choose you, and now you're like, oh, you follow up, like you say, oh, thanks for interviewing me. If you can send me some feedback on what I did wrong, yeah. The reason that I would that I'm against it is because then they can be like, oh, but they can try to argue it, right? Mm-hmm. So like it's kind of similar in your case. Like if you say, oh, can you let me know like what I did wrong? Now they say, oh, we like you either did this wrong or that or whatever, and you're like, well, that's wrong. Like now you're like arguing with them, although you asked for like so that you could be like to help you, but now you're like, oh, but I don't agree with you, So the way that I would approach it is, instead of like, oh, I didn't get hired for this, why not? Like, so I can, I would probably approach it like as, oh, I would like to, and probably even a conversation that you would have before that position even becomes open, but like, I want to know what it would take, what I would have to do to elevate into these areas. Like, what accomplishments would I need to have? Do I need to go and get some additional education, whether like management type stuff, so that they can give you that blueprint. I kind of ask them, like, if you ever read the book, what is it called? Never Split the Difference, right? By Chris Voss. So. Trying to put whoever is making those decisions, like have them giving you the blueprint. What does it take? The question they ask, like, okay, what will it take for me to be successful here? If you are like an interview, but it's kind of similar, even if you're working there, where they can kind of give you that blueprint of what they're looking for, and then you can have that in your outline of what you're doing to get to that next step. I would kind of like approach it in that sense of getting that blueprint, instead of like, oh, why did you, like, what did I do wrong?
No. And honestly, the way that you answered that was correct, because that was honestly the way that I wanted to phrase it. Because how would you ever know, or how would you ever gain that knowledge without asking for the knowledge or constructive criticism in order for you to elevate? So it would have been more along the lines of, could I get the constructive criticism on things that I need to improve on, in order for me to implement that within my day-to-day, implement that within my current position right now, so that I could be a better project leader, I could be a better developer. And then, maybe if another opportunity or another potential team opens and they need somebody with my skills to go to that next level, I'm ready for it.
And sometimes, like, even there's a lot of, I don't know how much you're aware of it, but there's a lot of politics that goes behind hiring as well, that you might never know. Like, I'll give you an example, right? Let's say you killed it on the job interview and that was your position, director, right? It's going to be you. But it's not that anybody dislikes you or anything like that. But the reason that you didn't get it is because we need him doing what he's doing, because he's the only one who can do it right now. And now they put somebody else there, which you're the one who's qualified. Like, so there's so many different reasons of why you might not get a position that you won't really know. And it's like, oh, like, It could just be like, or there's another possibility that you are great for that position, but they don't want you for that position because there's another one that they know is coming up later on that's the one that they really want for you, which is even better. So there's so many different things that like because you definitely ask the question, but you might not ever get that real answer because you don't know all the dynamics that are happening behind it. You know, and that's
so it's
and
like
that's,
it's like the higher you get, the more you get into the politics of things per se. Of maybe that person might have gotten it because they scratched that person's back per se, or they might have been more visible, or who knows? You know, they normally go out to drinks, you know, here and there, and you know, hang out.
all
So
that plays
I get all that. Yeah, I get it.
So I mean, it could be a particular thing that you answer something wrong. It could be something that's missing. It could be something they have for you that they can't tell you about yet because they don't know if it's going to come to fruition.
Right.
It's a variety of things, you know. So I never really like think about that. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's keep working, keep moving forward. So that's it happens, you know.
It happens. Like I said,
and the higher you elevate, there's less positions available the higher you elevate, you know. So and only one person can get it. So.
Yeah, I truly get it. So it doesn't bother me at all. Like I said, I had a moment and I just say, you know what, I'm going to the gym, put it on the bench, and I went home, had a steak.
You didn't hit the heavy bag?
No, not that day. I normally do boxing on Wednesdays, but Thursday I was like, yeah, it was chest day. But,
so you had a steak?
Yeah, I had a steak afterwards, man.
What kind of steak was it?
It was good. Yeah, man, had that ribeye, man. Nice ribeye.
Okay. Love the ribeye. All right.
Yes, sir.
So the reason I wanted to talk to you, right? You being, you know, the host of the Nourishing Word, and in January I had a resolution to be less compassionate, right? I want your thoughts on compassion before I share some observations that I've made on compassion.
Compassion, it depends. Like compassion can be used in multiple ways, either compassion to yourself, compassion to others, compassion within your workspace, compassion within your community. I normally go with the saying, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I feel like that particular golden rule that I was taught as a young age, for me, is the ultimate rule of compassion, because I would want to show somebody how I feel about them, and I would expect the same thing back in return. If it doesn't, it's okay. You know, at least I'm putting out that particular energy into the world. But I feel like there's a certain level of compassion that everybody should have, whether you're, you know, walking this world as an everyday person, as an everyday faith-based believer, if you do believe in that, or as an everyday techie per se. We all should have a certain level of compassion for one another, because we do share this world together in some type of way, shape, or form.
What's the level?
What do you mean?
You said we should have a certain level. What's the level?
Let's just say between basic to intermediate. I don't expect everybody to have compassion for everybody, because let's just be real, that's just realistic within this world. But at the end of the day, at least have enough compassion to be like, you stay over there and I'm going to be over here, and go about your business. And that's it.
So I think when you have, depending on what you do, right? When you have a certain, like, when you're compassionate, that puts you in the position of getting taken advantage of, or your time being wasted. What do you think?
You do run that risk of your time being wasted. That's no different from, I know this is the dark hole of relationships and, being in relationships with people. But you do run that risk of you being compassionate to somebody that you're dating or somebody that you're interested in, and that person ultimately doesn't end up, wanting to be with you. And then all of a sudden, all that compassion is gone. So is it time wasted, or is it a life lesson learned?
Time wasted. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It could be both. It could be both. Yes, you can. In the moment, you can definitely say like, yeah, I wasted my time, but also at the same time, you can learn about, what was done, what I should not have done, and move on to the next person, or move on to the next person after that. So, I think it's a delicate dance of compassion that you should have for people, especially for people that you trust and people that you can depend on, per se.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't want to. Again, this is your show. I don't want to get super biblical, but I mean.
Oh no, you're good to go. Yeah, I asked you the question. I asked you to come up, so you can say whatever you want to say. You can say whatever you want to say.
I mean, it comes down to verses such as like Ephesians chapter 4. Was it? I think it's verse 32. We're talking about be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving one another, just as Christ, Jesus Christ loved us, or God forgave you. So it's things like that you have to think about too, where it's just like we have to try, because we are human. We are just normal, regular, everyday people. We have to try our best to be compassionate to people, but even if that person doesn't want to be compassionate to us, then you have to protect yourself and go about your business. So.
Does the compassion depend on the role that you play, or I could say it as like the position that you're in? I'll give you an example. So Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Dwayne Wade's trainer, Tim Grover, right?
Sure.
If he tells one of them to do something, and they're like, well, I'm tired, I don't want to do it. Is it compassion if he's like, well, okay, you're tired, so you go and take a break? Or he's like, I don't care, get up and do it anyways?
It's compassion to do your job and to pretty much say, regardless of how you, I mean, that's no different from coaches with athletes and, trainers and stuff like that. Like you give tough love. And if that form of compassion is tough love, then you got to give that tough love.
Interesting. That's a good point. I didn't think about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that is so I am compassionate. Thank you, Rod Brown. No, but because here's the deal, right? Because from my purview, what I'll see is that you can be compassionate to people, but then that's like their opportunity, their opening to do whatever it is that they want, because you're trying to be kind instead of like, if you're in the if what they're asking you for is help, right? So instead of ruling with the iron fist, you're like, oh, you try to be kind, and then like they lose out, you lose out, and it becomes a whole mess.
I know what your problem is, Ralph.
What's my problem?
You don't want to be taken advantage of.
I mean, that says that in my song.
I know. I'm just saying, you don't want to be taken advantage of. That's the issue. That's the deep
I don't think
issue.
that's what it is, though. I don't think that's what it is. I
Why
value my time over everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I'm investing time and then it's like wasted, then it's like, what's the point?
Well, the key word that you said was invest. So say, for instance, you invest in the stock market, you invest in, or anybody who invested in Bitcoin, they ran that risk. in the beginning, because Bitcoin was nothing, and all of a sudden, boom, they're Bitcoin millionaires or billionaires. They took that risk. That's what investment is.
Okay, maybe it's not an investment.
In a sense, everything is going to be some type of investment, whether it was an investment of compassion, an investment of trust, an investment of time, an investment of whatever the case may be. You're going to invest, but if you look at the underlying tone of what investing is, it's literally saying taking that risk. We do that with stocks, and we learn about stocks and stuff like that. And investing is taking a risk on the market. It's going to be good. It's going to be bad. I took a risk on Tesla. That's not really working out for me right now. So I gotta reevaluate. That's just the risk. I run that risk. So if you apply that to anything else that you have going on in your life too, maybe that could potentially help. But at the end of the day, it's going to be an investment.
I like your example of it's compassionate to do your job. I like that. That's a good one.
Listen,
I'm gonna use that.
I know there's a certain level of compassion that QA engineers have to have with web developers, and especially web developers that like me that probably make too many mistakes and they don't like me. Okay, they have to have a certain level of compassion with me, and I have to have a certain level of compassion with them or anybody else on my team that's slacking off.
Oh, well, I'll tell you this. My compassion is for sale, right? So if you pay me the right amount of money, I will be as compassionate as you need, right? I'm just saying. So if we're working, if I'm a QA engineer, you're a software developer, and you're paying me to do all this stuff, testing and stuff like that, I will be the most compassionate person. Like, hey, I found this issue here. I'll write up this defect report. I'll do whatever you need. All right. So I'm just saying that, like, but the way that you explained it, I really like that explanation, though. Mm-hmm. I do want to circle back to the golden rule, I guess we'll call it, about do unto others. Maybe my problem actually is I treat people the way that I actually want to be treated. So like when I'm like tough and direct and like, because I would expect that, like, let's get to business, let's get to the point. Let's get to work. So then they take that as like, oh, I'm being like mean or not compassionate to their victim Olympics. Maybe that wasn't compassionate to say, but I thought.
Right.
But I'm like, but the question to me is always like, do you want to win or do you want a shoulder to cry on?
Sometimes you have to have compassion in whatever you're doing, expect nothing in return. I think there's a certain level of when people want compassion or people want something, they expect things in return, or they expect, hey, do your job, or do this for me, or do that for me in exchange for my compassion or exchange for my time. But I think we are called to expect nothing in return. And gosh, that's why I have to pull this out. I'm trying to see you got me pulling out. You got me pulling out the word here. I know it's Luke chapter 6. No. Luke chapter 6. I think it's verse 35. And it says, "Be merciful as your Father is also merciful." Right? Father is also, like, God is also merciful to us. Our parents are merciful to us as best as possible. And we should also be merciful to each other. But we should also love our enemies and also love the people that we're working with, love the people that we're interacting with, and do good and also lend, because at the end of the day, we shouldn't be expecting anything in return. Especially from a compassionate standpoint. Like, I have to have a certain level of compassion for people that, regardless if they don't like me in return, I'm just like, hey, I love you. God loves you, and I know that I have a certain love for you to not interact with you anymore. Now, I don't want anything in return. I'm just doing what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go about my business and call it a day. I have a certain level of compassion for my coworkers because I know that I'm going to put love and compassion into the work that I do, and I expect them to do the same thing. And if they don't, then they got to deal with the consequences. I love you. I'll see you later once you get fired, right? I just don't expect anything from anybody sometimes, and that's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, you know, because I don't expect anything in return.
I think I have a compassion meter.
Yeah, you have a level of compassion.
No, it's like a meter, right? Like, so
Right.
when I see somebody is like,
you reach that threshold, it's just like, oh, that's it.
no, I think like based on like how hard the person is working, then I become more compassionate to them, and then like the less that they work, I become less compassion. I think you're helping me see that now. I'll give you an example, right? Some people, so like when I'm coaching people, right, I have a certain amount of time that I'll allocate to them. But like when I see them like working really hard, then like I'm more flexible on how much time I give them. Like they'll get like more time, and then when it's like they're like slacking off, I'm like they get less time.
Why do you give them less time?
Well, number one, because they don't schedule their calls, but number two, because they're not working hard.
Okay. So how can you potentially help them improve before you ultimately write them off? Because it's like you go from step 1 and then you automatically go to step 100 and write them off.
I don't write them off. I don't write them off. I just like I don't. I just I don't know. I just seek out greatness. I don't know.
But everybody can't be great. Everybody isn't going to be at the level of greatness that you expect them to be.
I think though when I talk about greatness, I think about work ethic. Like you might not know everything, which is totally fine. That's why I'm helping you. But like the willingness to do the work and to pretty much, like you said, you went to the gym, right? So that's, I don't know. That's how I see it. I don't know.
But at the end, but I want to know why though.
Why what?
I want to. I mean, okay, from a work perspective, I can understand because again, I'm trying to tie it into, like, especially from a tech perspective, I can understand that. But at the same time, if it's a coworker, especially if somebody that's on your team, like say for instance you're on a team of 5, right? Mm-hmm. You're doing your job, and 3 other people are doing their job, but then there's one person on your team that's kind of slacking off. Would you just write that person off because they're slacking off, or would you potentially show some type of compassion, shoot a team's message to them and be like, hey, everything good? Like, you know, you need some help with something? Because at the end of the day, the overall approach is, you know, I want our team to succeed.
Oh, well, no, that's different because that's work, right? But I'm talking about like in your outside of work, right? Just dealing with like, how do you allocate? To me, I'm like allocating. I'm always allocating, right? Allocating my if you see my calendar, it is like very blocked off, right? So I'm just thinking about like time allocation, which I think the way you allocate your time is the way you allocate your compassion. That's right. I just made it up on the spot, but that's how I just thought about it.
What if I were to say that your compassion should be a little bit more flexible?
I don't believe in flexibility. Sorry.
Why not?
Because there's 24 hours in a day, 8,760 hours in a year, and I calculate down to the second how much each second is worth. And I don't know. I just don't. I don't believe in wasted time. If I'm going to waste time, I want to waste it on my own accord. With the people that I want to waste it with.
Right. Okay. I can accept that answer because if I was gonna follow up and say, okay, what if a family member was saying like, hey, I needed to talk to you, or I needed some time to, you know, have a conversation with you. You know, you're super booked today because your schedule is so jam packed, but they really need to talk to you today. Would you have the compassion to move some things around
That's what it's about.
So,
I dead serious.
We gotta talk in person. I gotta
this?
talk in person.
Oh, it's only money.
Shout out to Magnetar. Let me read what Magnetar says.
Simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Magnetar says, Rod Brown, far as level of greatness, do you think a person will only be as great as God allows them to be? If so, can one look down or on or judge another?
That is the number one. Thank you, Magnetar, for the question. That is the biggest topic that people talk about in, I would say, in the Christian content creation space that I have to, unfortunately, get my hands, into a little bit. The act of judging others or calling people out or pointing fingers, per se. God does call us to judge, but at the same time, I feel like we should judge gracefully. I feel like we should judge. Again, going back to I like to go back to the golden rule. Me personally, you do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I personally would not like to persecute somebody because I wouldn't want to be persecuted unless I deserved it, right? Unless I did something egregious like murder somebody or whatever the case may be, I need to be persecuted. But I feel like we're all in this world together trying to figure it out in some type of way, shape, or form, and we're only left with this guidebook to guide us, per se. So we're going to have differences of opinions. I'm going to respect your opinion. Hopefully you'll respect mine. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to reach one place, or we go to the other place. Who knows? But that was a good. But yeah, like you said, judge righteously, and that's just how I see it. Because we're all everyday Christians. We're all everyday people.
Well,
But the only person that I am going to judge is Mitch, because he deserves it. So I'm just going to put that right out there. All right?
I don't have no problem judging people. I won't judge them publicly, but I'll just all right, I'm just not dealing with this person. But that's just me. So what were we talking about before Magnetar? Oh yeah, so we're talking about like the time and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Do you believe you can like waste time? Oh, you're talking about if someone said, "Oh, I need to talk to you," and I said, I'll check my I'll check my calendar, and if I'm booked, I want to know what it's about. So what if you have something really important to do, right? And now that you don't know anything about what it's about, you rearrange your calendar, and then it's for BS.
What if they said it was an emergency, or they just really needed to talk to you? It's like, this particular situation, I can only talk to you, and I really need to talk to you face to face. Would you be able to show the compassion and be a little bit flexible on that?
No.
Okay.
Because like, I want to know. Okay, give me a synopsis. Like, give me a what is it that you want to talk to me about? Because I'm not going to change my whole world around, because it could be nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's what I want to know.
It's a medical emergency that they received some news from the doctor today, and they just really need to talk to you about it. Okay.
Like, how much? I probably ask, how much time do you have to?
You just can't say yes. Hey, all right, cool. I'll drop everything. This is an emergency. We can have this conversation. Tell me what's going on. And they end up telling you they got cancer and they got 3 months to live.
Okay, like, but that's different. And if they have 3 months, I guess they would have 2 months and 29 days. If I. And I'm just kidding about that. But
oh man,
see, look at bitch has just sent it. Nah, but I'll give you a story though. I'll give you a story. Like, cause it goes right up your alley about your scenario. Not with the medical thing, but
yeah,
I think it was last year. Someone, a relative is in town and says, "Oh, I'm in town. I wanna talk to you," right? And I said, about what? And they gave me like a brief synopsis. And I was like, well, I can give you 30 minutes, the max an hour, on these days during the week. And that wasn't good enough for them. They wanted an open-ended meeting that I was like, no. Like I'm not doing open-ended with anyone. Not even my own parents. I'm gonna do open-ended with, like, I need to know, like, what are we talking about? And now if we're just hanging out, and I'll tell you this. I will even tell you this, right? So down here they have this thing called like movie in the park, where like they'll put like one of those big screens on and stuff like that, and you just go, you bring your own chairs, whatever, food and stuff like that. You watch the movie in the park, right? I like going to those, but you know what I'll do?
You'll bring your laptop. So you bring your laptop and you'll do work.
I won't bring my laptop. I will go into my calendar, and I will schedule it in my calendar, and I'll invite my wife, my mom if she wants to go, my dad if he wants to go, and I'll have it booked. I'll have it time blocked, because I'm accounting for that time. That time has a value to it, and I'm actively choosing to go and do this activity.
I mean, that's a family calendar. I have a family calendar too with my wife. So whenever we got things going on, she puts it in a family calendar. I put it in a family calendar. It syncs up to my phone, and we go from there. If it's not in the calendar, we have to hold each other accountable just to make sure that it's in there. So I get that, but you can't. I just feel like it's so informal to say, hey, I have to put in our family calendar an emergency conversation with Ralph to tell them about my diagnosis. Like,
I'm not saying it's an emergency conversation, but if you can tell me that you you have an emergency, which, I mean, I'm not a medical doctor to be able to save you, but if you can tell me that you have an emergency, then I'll make room for it. But I'm not just gonna say, oh, I need to talk to you. Okay, let me cancel everything to accommodate you.
But they just want to talk to you in person. It's just like, oh man, like, they depend on you, and they just.
You should not depend on me. If you are not my wife or my child, you should not depend on me. I'm just saying.
We're gonna work on you, man. We're gonna work on this. We're gonna work on it.
I'm just saying, like, it's like I have seen so much time wasted in my life that I'm like, look, the time is the only thing you won't get back. So you just can't throw it away like that.
I get it. The older we get, we don't want to waste time. That's why my circle of friends is very, very small now. I used to have a large group of friends. Like, oh yeah, I know this person. Yeah, I know that person. Now I'm down to a handful, and I'm fine.
You see how slick you are, Mr. Thirst Trap Brown. You keep us. You keep a small circle so you don't have that opportunity that says, I need to talk to you right now.
Okay. First off, we're gonna address that. All right. I wasn't thirst trapping. It was the thumbnail. Right? I was making the thumbnail in order to. Okay. Anyway.
And then that's all. Like, you know what? I should, because like he had the banana rubbing. You could have took like when he was rubbing the banana on his face, and you could have had your picture rubbing the banana on the face of his thumbnail. But I'm just saying.
You see, when I try to get creative and do something, creative, and this is what I get. All right, no more creativity. It's gonna be standard from now on. Anyway, but second off, I mean, I don't think it's more along the lines of like, it's like a gotcha moment by saying that, hey, I choose to keep my friends, my close circle of friends very small, right? I would say that when we're younger, we count our acquaintances and people that we run into or people that we see every single weekend when we go out to go out to the bar or go out to party and stuff like that. We say that those are our friends, or even nowadays, people say that people who follow you on social media are your friends. But the older that you get, it's more along the lines of just being wiser about who you choose to allow within your inner circle in order for you to have peace. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's no different from God having the disciples around him. Of course you might have a Judas that that enters into the fray, but then that situation happens, and then you acquiesce, and then you adjust from there.
No, I agree with you. I wasn't trying to trap you. I was just joking.
I know you were.
Because I did the same thing. So, anyways, ready to read the chat and get out of here?
Yeah.
All right. So, Magna says, in regards to the last question that I read, my dad forewarned me about that back in my late teens. Low man on the totem pole. Okay, so that's about the one with the Russians. Let's see. Roxy correctly says that Mitch is always yapping. That's true. It's a fact. Factual information. Let's see. Mitch wanted to tell you that.
What's this? Oh, it's only money.
Let me finish reading these. I'll read that one last. But Mitch wanted me to tell you that he wanted me to specifically tell you his day and you. So that's Mitch wanted me to tell you that. Let's see. Roxy says rightfully pray for Mitch. If you we will not pray for Mitch on this channel. You can do it on the Nourishing Word when you go live. You can start off your show with a prayer for Mitch. Mitch says that his song is the best. Magnetar says Mitch is raging against everyone. That is true. And that I bring is it Rod Brown that brings the worst out of you, or is it me who brings the rest out of you? Not sure.
Could be both.
Could be both. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. It says, oh no, I think he's talking about you. Says Rod Brown, you just be yapping. Okay, fair enough.
But guess what? But guess what, Mitch? You listen. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
He doesn't want a hug from you, but Roxy says that he needs an Elmo hug. Mitch says, I watched too. I'm a part of the watch time. I think maybe not. Watch time. You mean Watchtower, Mitch? Okay. Let's see. And Mitch says, he says compassionately, I'm sorry to hear that, man, about you not getting the position. Hopefully the next one. Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, let me go.
Aww. Appreciate that, big dog.
Max says, I remember Rod Brown saying he had an interview. Sorry, it didn't work out. Oh, that's so sweet. Very compassionate people here. You see, I feel bad now because, oh God, I'm such a bad person. Because everyone is being so compassionate, and I was like, "Did you go cry in the car?"
No, what actually you want to know what I actually did outside of going to the gym? I made a video, and that'll release this week.
Let's go.
I put it on wax. So.
There you go. See, that's how you do it. Roxy says, "Keep the faith." Mrs. Rod Brown. Only thing you maxed out on was too many hats. Oh, that's a funny.
Not yet.
Joke.
I'm looking at some new ones.
Mitch says Ralph would have a hit list if he didn't get it. Writing everyone's name down. Not really. I don't really care that much. I mean, I do have a list, but it's not a hit list. It's just the list of people I need to outwork. Let's see. Did they hire from outside or within? That's the question.
It was actually from within.
Gotcha. Magtar is referring to the politics in life and offices and stuff, not to mention the pettiness. And Magtar also says, taking a page out of Mitch's book, Politics. Mitch says, it happened to me before. I put both I put both middle fingers up. Okay, well, that's one way to deal with it. Probably not Rod Brown's preferred method of doing it. Mitch also said, "Oh my God, you not boxing? Stop it." Let's see. Magnus says, "Oh gosh, here we go, Roxy." Yep, we saw that coming. Let's see. He says he can't leave it alone, Magnetar. They're probably talking about me in the compassion thing. they were the biggest advocates for me to be more compassionate, and I was like,
Right.
that's not happening. Let's see. He says that's what we are getting at, but no. Mitch wants to know, how do you feel about him, Rod Brown?
I love Mitch.
Awesome, sweet.
We gonna work on him, but I love Mitch nonetheless.
And Mitch wants to know how I feel about him. How do I feel about who? Okay, there we go. Let his people know. Roxy says, try your best to be. I've tried. I think it goes back to Rod Brown's golden rule, because I treat people the way that I would want to be treated, but apparently the way that I want to be treated is not a good thing. So maybe I'm just psychotic. We got J-Lo on the track. What's up, J-Lo on the track? How you doing? Mitch says, did you get these questions from Chat GPT? No, I did not get them from Chat GPT. Let's see. J-Lo, don't worry. Respond whenever you feel like it, J-Lo. No worries at all. Let's see. Nice one. No from Gemini. That's funny. Let's see. Mitch says, somebody did Ralph wrong when he was younger. Therapy session. Probably somebody did, but guess what? I'm probably doing it way better than them, so I don't care. Oops, that was not compassionate. Mitch said, but who has compassion for me? Jesus.
Yep.
Let's continue. See, there you go. Roxy says, good question. Who? Let's see. Some Tech Coach Ruff said, see how I got Rod Brown to go live? What?
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Touche. That's all I'm gonna say.
Roxy says, are you being sneaky? I am not being sneaky. I am just sharing my thoughts, having a conversation with our latest live streamer, the Nourishing Word with Rod Brown. Oh my goodness. We had the super chat from Magnetar. Shout out to Magnetar again.
I appreciate you.
Let's see. Magnetar says, also judge righteously. I think honestly, whenever you make a decision, any decision you make is a judgment, right? Rod Brown?
Any decision that you make is a judgment, but at the same time, you take accountability for the
it's not a
decision
condemnation,
that you make.
but it's a judgment, right?
No, it's not a judgment. I'm gonna say no. It's not.
Let's see. Mitch says, well, Magnetar judges me. It's not right. Fair enough. Well, Rod Brown says he also judges you. I think you have the wrong Magnetar. Let's see. Mitch, I kind of agree with Mitch on this one, right? We're talking about if you have like some dire emergency, just send a text. Can I be the judge of the emergency?
People are so informal these days.
I just want to know, can I be the judge of the emergency? Because, all right, what if you had the ultimate thing lined up to do for today, and they say, oh, I really, really got to talk to you, right? I really, really got to talk to you. You're like, all right, fine. Let me cancel it. Let me go. And then you go, and it's like, I just haven't seen you in a long time. I just wanted to see you.
Depends on the relationship with the person.
I think that might sever the relationship. That might sever the relationship.
I have to know the context. Like, is it a sibling? Is it your mother, your father, or is it just a random friend?
It's your mother.
I would cancel for my mom. That's me.
Mama gonna have you broke.
Hey.
Mitch said Ralph
listen,
is mean. Fair enough.
But listen, that's hence the reason why I live in separate cities than my mother. Okay, if it was in the same city, then yeah, my mama gonna have me broke. But that's why I have some distance between us, so therefore it doesn't happen. So there it is.
Fair enough. B Piece, Mrs. Tekotroff says so true about the calendar invites and all that. Let's see. Mitch says y'all old. And Mitch says I am not your friend. I know, Mitch. You're not my friend. We are best friends.
Did we just become best friends? Yup.
And if you want to be best friends with Rod Brown too, then we can become like the Three Musketeers. Let's see. Magda says, well, when you live long enough, you'll get old too. That's talking about Mitch. Mitch says, shut up, chump. Fair enough. Let's see. Rod Brown says, from the Nourishing Word, says, happy birthday, bro. Thanks for the inspiration to keep me grinding. Thank you, Rod Brown. Appreciate it. And I see. I'm gonna trap you real quick. Not thirst trap you. I'm gonna trap you real quick, right?
Wow. Wow. All right. We're gonna pause on that. All right. We are going to pause on that. All right.
What if I allocated my time to someone who wasn't working as hard as you, and that time could have gone to me helping you and all the stuff that we work on behind the scenes? That would be a detriment to you.
Then you would have to learn how to cut your losses.
But I'd rather just help you, who's working hard.
I get it, but so say for you're helping somebody else, and at the same time helping me. But then you see how hard I'm working, but then the other person is slacking. Then it just, in the words of Mitch, it just gets to a point where you just have to cut your losses. You know?
I got
and then you go from there.
Interesting. So, waste of time when you're not involved. I got you. Okay. that A was actually for J-Lo on the track. What's up, J-Lo? Let's see. What else we got? He said he ain't going to bother praying for me. I didn't say that. I said do it on his channel when he goes live, right?
It's gonna be a minute, all right? So.
I mean, you're already live now, you know. Let's see. Just not on your channel yet. So let's do it like this, right? So Mitch first says, shut your up to you. And then a few chats later, he says, Rod Brown, I take back some of the things I said about you. Okay, there we go. See? Now you have to be compassionate.
You see how that works? You see how that works?
See, if he had said with all due respect, then he could say whatever he wanted, but you know.
But see, but I know what I said. So that's how you kill Mitch's spirit with compassion, right?
Fair enough.
Mitch is a softie.
Must have been the hug. Magda says, didn't know that was Miss TCR. Greetings. Shout out to her. Let's see. And there we have it. Mitch, by the way, said pause, probably to when I said not a thirst trap, but it is what it is. All right. Anyways, any final thoughts? Right, you look so uncomfortable now.
I can't with you. The final thoughts is this. Ralph, we're gonna work on you. We're gonna work on you, right? I get your thought processes. I get where your mind frame is coming from, but we're going to work on you. We're going to agree to disagree on that. But at the end of the day, I feel like every single one of us, me included, you included, everybody in chat, anybody else is listening, we're all just everyday Christians, right? And what do I mean by that? We're all everyday Christians just trying to understand God's word and just trying to navigate this world. Sometimes we're going to get it right. Sometimes we're going to get it wrong. I get it wrong a lot of times, and I get things right sometimes as well too. But at the end of the day, as everyday people, we should be there to help each other as best as possible. So, but we're going to work on you, Ralph. We're going to work on you. I know what you did here tonight. And I thoroughly appreciate it. But we're gonna work on it. All right.
I have no
We're gonna
idea what
work.
you're talking about, but I appreciate you too. And good job. You did great. All right. Well, that's about it for tonight. We don't have any more chats coming through. You guys can go check out the Frenemies album, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live. Go subscribe to The Nourishing Word with Rod Brown. Amazing content. And support him. He's going to be going live soon. All right? Soon.
Yeah.
All right, Rod Brown, let me drop you down. You take care. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate you.
Y'all take care. Thank y'all.
All right. Well, that was Rod Brown sharing his insight with us. I really appreciate him. I did want to talk to him about the whole compassion thing because I see a lot of stuff. And you guys know me. I am a big advocate for time, so much that I created the time cost calculator. I think the time is the only thing that you cannot get back. You can lose money and make it back. You cannot get your time back. So allocate it wisely and all that good stuff, right? So it is what it is. Anyways, TechWhatDrop.dev, Sam today. I'm going to get out of here. You guys have an amazing rest of your night. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. And with that being said, TechWhatDrop, we are out.
They said I wouldn't make it, they laughed at my dream. Every move I made felt like swimming upstream. But yesterday I met a fan, eyes full of belief. In their gaze I saw the end to my grief.
Doubt didn't win, trust began. Looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I saw myself alive. I put in all the hours, climbed out from the dirt. They dissed and dismissed, said I'd always get hurt. Met a fan so loyal, reflections don't lie. My biggest supporter is just me in my mind.
Through the noise and shadows I held my ground. Bumps, bruises, broken, no comfort found. But that fan smile turned my world around. Now I'm rising sky high above the sound.
Doubt didn't win and trust I began. When I looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.